It's been couple of days since you spoke to Jungkook. You made sure you didn't run into him at all. You don't have anything to do with him anymore, not even in the slightest bit. You wanted to completely leave him out of your life. Groaning, you moved your forehead onto your desk, giving up on the math homework you was attempting to finish. It was nearly 1 in the morning and you was still up because you couldn't keep your head in one place. Eventually, you decided on doing some homework which wasn't exactly going too well right now. Your eyes shut for the slightest bit until a knock on your door makes you jump from your spot. You look towards the door, your eyebrows furrowed in confusion. No one usually comes to your room so late at night. You slowly walk up to the door, hesitantly moving your hand onto the handle as another impatient knock sounds. You unlock the door, slowly opening it. You squint your eyes to see more clearly before feeling your throat run dry at Jungkook's bloody face looking down at you. Buttercup. His deep voice rumbles and you feel your breath hushed. Your eyes move over to the blood on his face as you think to yourself, how often did he get into fights? Hasn't he had enough already? What do you want? You whisper out. Your brain was yelling at you to shut the door and ignore him. But you couldn't bring it in you to do that, especially seeing him like this. He watched you curiously, searching every inch of your face before his eyes find yours. It hurts. He suddenly choked out and you looked at him confused before his entire body starts falling forward towards you. Your eyes widen as you move to hold Jungkook's tall frame up, only then realizing the strong smell of alcohol coming off of him. What do you mean it hurts? How bad did you get injured? You say, trying your best to keep him from falling down as you drag his body down onto your bed. Finally, you get him to lay on the bed, his dark hair messy and the blood still a disaster on his face and shirt. You're lucky I'm nice. You breathe out, watching him carefully as you try to figure out what was bringing him so much pain. Jungkook only laid there with his eyes closed and his arms draped over his forehead. You sigh in frustration before heading towards the bathroom. If any of the maids sees Jungkook in here, you were done for the day. You reach for a towel and get it damp with warm water before rushing back to the bed and cleaning up his face. A low groan leaves his mouth and you swallowed the lump in your throat at the sound before finishing up. You have to tell me exactly where it hurts so I can help you, Jungkook. You grumbled under your breath. He didn't deserve any help from you, especially after what he did in university. You froze when his eyes suddenly opened and he looked at you intensely. The sound of your heart rate could probably be heard from miles away when his hand suddenly grabs your wrist that was holding the towel against his face, stopping any of your movement. You won't find Buttercup, he said deeply, and you watch him in confusion as you see the most heartbreaking look flash in his eyes. It was something you never see in Jungkook. His eyes in that moment had more emotion in them than you would ever seen in him. It wasn't happy or confused or scared or even angry. It was just sad. For the first time you saw Jungkook looking this much sad. What do you mean? You whispered out. You have never seen this side of Jungkook before. It all felt like a daydream, really. The towel in your hand is suddenly dropped when Jungkook loosened it out of your hand. You look down at the fallen towel before feeling your heart race when he moved your hand to hold the side of his face. His own hand was clasped on top of your own that was on the side of his face, holding your hand in place so you don't move it. You look back up at him like he's insane before realizing his eyes were closed and he had been back asleep. You nervously chew your lip as you watch him sleeping as if nothing had just happened. It was odd seeing him sleep watching his calm breaths. His face was less angry looking and he looked somewhat peaceful. Jungkook usually stayed out all night. This was the first time you saw him actually sleeping. You stay there sitting at the edge of your bed as he laid down and eventually you fall asleep on your own. You are not exactly sure if you even had a dream that night. The only thoughts in your head were of what could have made Jungkook seem so sad. Even Andrew hadn't crossed your mind the entire night. When you woke up for university, you were laid out on your bed like you normally laid down with your blanket entirely covering you. You look around confused to say the least. Jungkook was nowhere in sight and you were sleeping in your bed like he hadn't been there 5 hours ago. You're not sure what time did Jungkook wake up, but he left the room before you had woken up. The bloody towel on the ground was more than enough proof that what happened last night, it wasn't just some weird dream. You sighed as you got up with a yawn before opening your phone to one new notification. It was from Andrew. He gives you the location and time to give him his money tonight. How was you going to walk all alone to a sketchy alleyway at 1 in the morning? Your hands were shaking again and you looked down at them as you try stopping it, but it won't work. You could already feel your breathing getting ragged as you try your best to take calm breaths, trying to distract yourself. You you get into the shower and change into a comfortable outfit while playing music the entire time. It helped you clear your mind somewhat. The weather was nicer today, so you looked forward to the walk, hoping it could make you feel better. The sound of shoes running against the pavement reaches your ears, and you take out your AirPods as you turn your head. Jungwoo, he runs up to you, a grin on his face as he catches up and starts walking next to you. Do you mind if I walk with you today? He asked, moving to face in front of you as he starts walking backwards. You smile at Jungwoo, shaking your head. Well, do you want me to be completely honest? You ask, faking an annoyed look. 100%. He replied, watching you with amusement, placing his gaze. You stop in your tracks, causing him to stop as well. So you both are stuck facing each other. You just don't qualify to be my walking buddy. You shrugged, watching as his eyebrows furrow into confusion before you walk past him. That's a good thing for me then, he said, walking next to you now. And how would that be good? You giggled, looking up at his taller frame. Jungwoo looked down at you, a hesitant glint in his eyes for a moment. I think we would work better being more than just buddies. He said, and you feel your lips part at the sudden words leaving his mouth. Did you hear that correct? Maybe you are a little deaf. What do you mean by that? You muttered, trying to figure out why he was looking at you like that. Is it not obvious enough already? He laughed with his eyes as he looked down at you, amused. You furrow your brows together as you shake your head no. Then, well then, I'll let you figure it out soon. Let's go before we get late for the class, he said, and you only then realized you both already made it to the university. Jungwoo leaves as he walks over to a group of his friends, and you stand there froze as you try to think of what just happened. It's not until a group of squealing girls show past you that you get forced out of your daze. I can't believe you got invited, Renee. One girl screeched in excitement. It's only then that you notice a huge sign saying Jungkook and Jungwoo's 24th birthday party being hung up by two girls who seemed more like fans than classmates. There had already been a crowd forming around the stupid poster as you try your best to push out of it to go to the class. Thankfully, the poster had gotten everyone's mind away from what happened yesterday. You let out a breath of relief as you make it out of the crowd and walk towards your class. Jungkook didn't end up coming to first hour today. You wondered if he skipped because he wasn't feeling well or because he didn't want to see you. Not like it really mattered anyways, you didn't care, right?